Okay, so before we start, I'm just going to let you guys know the foundation that I'm wearing today. I am still testing out my Kat Von D Like It Tattoo foundation. I am convinced that I used to love this, so I'm trying to get back into it. The last time I used it with the Real Technique buffer brush, and it was very drying, and it didn't sit well on my face. So today I used it with my blender brush, and I see somewhat of a better outcome. So hopefully it works better with a beauty blender. I just have on the foundation right now. I didn't set it or anything. I'm just gonna let that set because this foundation, for some reason, for me, it takes a longer time to set. And then the eyeshadows and blushes and concealers that I'm using comes from my Sheeny Cosmetics the Masterpiece 7-layer all-in-one makeup set. And it looks like that. I think I used this before in one of my videos. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog barking, but he wants to come out or come up. It comes with 4 eyeshadow palettes, like your browns and your purples, your pinks and your blues. It comes with a concealer palette, which is the concealer that I'm going to be using today. It comes with a blush and bronzer palette, and then it comes with a lipstick palette, which I don't use, and I leave it in the box. So with that being said, let me set my table up so everything's easy to reach for. Oh, and my eyebrow is the Tarte, of course, the Amazonian Clay Brow Mousse. So I like to go through my makeup brushes and pull out all the ones that I need and then have them in my hand and ready to just work with. I don't like to keep reaching over and getting my brush. So I have here 3 fluffy brush, 3 fluffy brush, 3 flat eyeshadow brush, what is this? I don't know what this is. It's like a detailed flat shader by Sedona, 1 concealer brush, and 1 pencil brush. These are all for the eyes. And then the palette that I'm going to start with is the one that has our transition color, and it's in the pink palette, and it's like, I would say if you own a Makeup Geek shadow, it's this one here. It's not really picking up, but it looks white in the camera, but it's not. It's pretty, what is that called, that orange something from Makeup Geek, I forgot what it's called. But my largest fluffy brush is what I'm going to use, and that's going to be my transition color, and this is going to go all over my eye from lid to right above the crease. Next, I'm going to take the purple palette with my largest, or with a dense flat shader brush. Pick whatever you want. I'm going to take this color here. It reminds me of MAC. I have pregnancy brain, so I can't think of it right now, but I know it reminds me of one of MAC's color. I don't know, but it's like a deep plum color. That one there. And I'm going to list everything down below, okay? This is going to go all over my lid. I'm going to start with the lid. I'm packing it on. Make sure you tap it off because you don't want the fallout, since my foundation is already completed. So I'm starting at the lid, and I'm going for more of a rounded look instead of a sharp wings look. So try to keep it rounded. And then I'm going to move it up past the crease, and we'll worry about blending it out later. Okay, and then with our fluffy brush that we use for the transition color, I am going to soften up the edges and blend that out. Next, take whatever shader brush you want to use for your highlighter, and the color that I'm using for the highlighter is this kind of vanilla matte white. And you know, put it where your highlighter belong. Next, I'm gonna take my neutral palette, the one with the browns in it, and I'm gonna take this bronzy color here, that one there, with another flat shader, and that's gonna go right in the middle of my lid. I'm gonna really pack this on. This is gonna give us dimension for that glow. Like if I didn't have a color underneath, that wet look would just be kind of like one dimension. So you can even leave it just like this if you like that look. Next, I'm going to take a L'Oreal. This is the Smoldering Effect eyebrow or eye pencil, and I'm going to smoke out my top lash line. And not doing no wing. And then on the bottom. So I really drag that down. I like a heavy smoker bottom lash line. A heavy smoker, a heavy smoky bottom lash line. Okay, taking my detail brush, this is the Sedona Lace one, and that deep plum color again. We're going to smoke the bottom lash line out. And then with a pencil brush, I'm going to take our transition color, which is that matte soft peach color. And that's going to be our blending color for the bottom. Just to soften up that line. Okay. Now the fun part. I'm going to take my Vaseline and a concealer brush. Go ahead and take a good amount of Vaseline. Put it right on the back of my hand. I'm losing my breath. And then a nice big chunk of it. And this goes right on top of that gold. And as you can see, it starts to create a muddy look, which is the grunge look that I'm going for. I'm going to go back in with that deep purple and run it right on top to keep the Vaseline from sticking like up top. Okay, so I'm going to take my concealer palette now. I am going to use this color here. It looks like about an NC30. And that's going to be what I'm highlighting my lower lash line with. My under eye circles with. I'm telling you, I have pregnancy brain right now. I can't even talk right. So I'm just going to place this. I'm going to set my under eye with my Cover FX. This is the Pressed Mineral Foundation in G30. And I'm going to use this to set my under eye. Okay. And then the rest of my face I'm going to set with my Wet n Wild Coverall pressed powder. This is the one in medium, and I'm using a puffer this time. I feel like using a puffer really helps with diminishing my crater scar. So I'm really pushing it into the crater scar. Because our eyes are pretty glossy, I'm not gonna do too much highlighting. And I'm gonna go for a more of a matte look. But can you guys see the difference with pressing the powder in? It gives off a more smooth finish. I'm using 2 Milani bronzer. The one that I'm gonna bronze my face with is the Sunset Baked Bronzer in 08. It's a lighter bronzer, and I like it. It's just gives off more of a natural look, I would say. So that's how that look. And with a fluffy, I think this is a blush brush. So I go on my forehead. And I only put this on the outside of my face, just for some definition. And with the Baked Bronzer in Sienna, it's a darker one. And this is what I'm going to contour with. I'm also going to use that same color and contour my nose. And then I'm going to highlight with Milani Baked Bella Eyeshadow Powder in Bella Chiffon. I've been using this a lot lately for my highlight. Just right there. I'm going to keep the lips pretty neutral and matte. This is Wet n Wild lipstick in Pink Sugar. It just looks like that. Alright guys, so this is the final look. I did my hair up in a, I guess a faux hawk. I don't know how you want to explain it. I'm debating on if I'm going to cut my hair. And so I'm starting to play around with like styles to see how it looks. And I don't know. My length up top is a little too long to actually do the faux hawk. So I had to, I don't know, mess around and play with it a little bit. But yeah, this is the look. I would definitely wear this to a holiday party. This is just my taste. I'm not really a glamour glitz type of girl. But yeah. And the foundation is not too bad with the Beauty Blender. I'm not used to this really bright under eye with the concealer. I think the concealer that I use from the Shiny kit is a bit too light. So that's a good point. Well, I mean, in the mirror, it looks fine. But this camera is like bouncing the lights off and making it extra bright or something. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the tutorial and learn something. Just be aware that if you're doing the glossy look with the Vaseline, throughout the night it will start to crease and stuff like that. If it doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, just take a ring finger and dab right on top of it and blend it right back in. It lasts for a pretty good long time. And you will feel like a sticky sensation with your eyelids, but it doesn't really bother me too much. Yeah. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.